Hey everyone, it's Jessica and I'm back with another video, and I don't know if you guys remembered earlier this month when I mentioned that I wanted to use up a bunch of the tags in the Simple Stories to Save Travels collection or not, but here I am with this layout doing just that. So I am pulling out my circle cutter by We Are Memory Keepers, and I am just cutting a small circle to go in the center of my layout using one of the background papers from that Safe Travels collection, and then I'm just roughing up the edges with my edge distresser. That is going to be the main circle of my layout and kind of what I'm going to go off of and start this layout from. So I have all these tags and I'm just going to cut them all apart. See here, I have them all cut apart, and then I'm just going to start layering them behind my circle. So I'm just going to start building this up. I start with the four, it's not really corners, I guess, because it's a circle, but the it's kind of like a clock, the 12, the 3, the 6, and the 9 of a clock. So that's kind of my starting points of my tags where I'm tucking them in, and I'm just going to make sure that those are straight and lined up, and then I'm just going to build based on those four. So I've already adhered those four down with my ATG gun here. And then I'm just going to continue to tuck them in here on top of each other, just layering them the whole way around my circle. So I cut them all out. I cut all the circles out. I did punch all the circles out of the tops of the tags. So those are all pre-prepped and ready to go. And then I'm just adhering all of the rest of these in there. I do end up not using just a few of them, so I cut out a whole entire sheet, and I think I grabbed a couple others that I had in my stash already cut. And then I saw this frame in the chipboard frames pack that I have from this collection. I hardly ever use them, but that frame was the exact size of my photo, and it just went perfectly with this. So I went ahead and attached my photo here to the frame, and as you can see, I've done some machine stitching around that circle to hold all of those tags in place and add a little bit of something to my circle. And then I'm just going to pop my photo right there. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add some splatters to this. So I pulled out some white ink by Dylusions, and I'm just watering it down with my paintbrush and just flicking that right onto those tags. So I'm sticking to that tag design, but I just wanted to splatter them just to give them a cool effect. And then I'm going to also pull out some Shimmerz as well. I think it's Oakie Bear Blue is the one that I end up using on that. So I'm just cleaning up my glass mat. This is why I love to use this mat, because it just cleans up so nice and easy, and you can just wipe it right off. And I just love it. So it works great for mixed media and when you're doing splatters. So here's the Shimmerz that I'm pulling out. This is one of the Inklingz, and you just start by just watering it down and adding some of that water to the pot directly. And then I'm just flicking that on with my paintbrush as well, just like I did with the white paint. So same effect there, but just a different product. But I love how these are so pretty whenever they dry. They are really shimmery and sparkly, and they just dry so beautiful on your page. So I'm going to go ahead and attach my photo now, because I know that's exactly where I want to put it. So I'm just going to add some embellishments around my photo, and I might tuck a couple in by the tags. I'm going to add my date stamp to this one tag here, but I have to stamp it first. And because it was not laying very flat in that sticker book, I just went ahead and ripped that page right out of my sticker book. And as you can see, I have actually done my hair today. It's not pulled up, and it actually looks nice today. But you know, my head just seems to peek in sometimes whenever I'm trying to line some of these things up. So yeah, so I'm just going to pop this tag right there at the bottom. It has my little date on it, so I remember when this is from and where to put it in my book, because I like to scrap chronologically in date order. And then I'm just going to pull out a couple more embellishments. This one says Weekend Vibes. This was on a Friday, so I consider that the weekend. It's close enough. And we always take that Friday off to visit our favorite tractor show, which happens twice a year. And I thought that would just be the perfect sticker to go right there. And yeah, I'm just gonna add a couple little wordy bits from the sticker sheet. As you can tell, this sticker sheet has gotten quite heavy usage out of it. I've used up quite a lot of that sticker sheet, so I'll probably here at some point cut those apart and just add the rest of those stickers into my die cut stash here. That way I'm not carting around the sticker sheet all the time with just a few stickers left. I thought this layout needed something on the top and bottom, so what I did was I took that same background paper that I cut the circle out of, and I just cut some little strips down for the top and the bottom of this layout, and then I distressed the edges of them as well, just like I did with the circle. And I had to use some Nuvo glue on the edges because the edges were too thin to put my tape runner through, so I just used some of that liquid Nuvo glue just to adhere down those pointy edges on that top piece. And then these are a few of the tags that I had left over from cutting all of them out, so I'm just going to tuck a couple more down here at the bottom just to add some interest. So I'm just trimming them down so I don't have to put the whole thing on there, and I'm just tucking them underneath that little border strip, and then I'm going to eventually thread some of that jute twine there through all of my tags. So I'm pulling out some of these little adhesive brads. I really like this little chipboard sun that come on that sheet. So I'm going to tuck that little guy up top, and then I think I'm going to do some journaling beside that just to talk about our day and what we were doing. And here's where I start with my twine. I am just going to go ahead and thread this all through. I wasn't quite sure exactly what I wanted to do with this or what direction I wanted to go, but I thought this would look cool if I somehow connected them all together. So all I'm doing is I have doubled this up, and then I'm using the looped end, and I'm threading that through each of my tags, going in from behind each one and then up through the hole. So it's the same direction on all of them. And then I just, at the end here, this is where it ends. I just wanted it to look like a continuation of the same type of design. So I'm just going to cut it here and then tuck it behind this tag and glue it there. That way it looks like it's just a continued strand and like it just never ended. I really like the effect and the way that that turned out. So yeah, that's just what I stick with. I think it kind of reminds me of like a life preserver and how the string or the rope around a life preserver goes. It's kind of like twirled around, and I really liked it. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. I am gluing down my little chipboard sun, and I like to reinforce some of my embellishments that way, because even though they do have adhesive on the back, I find that sometimes they don't stick overall for a long time in my book. They sometimes kind of lose their adhesive, so I usually reinforce them with some Nuvo liquid glue on top of the other adhesive that's already there. Then I'm just gluing down those tags because I forgot to actually adhere them before I threaded that jute twine through there. So I am just gluing that down and then sorting through my little die cuts that I have left from this collection. I still have quite a few, but I'm just sorting through them. I've pulled out a few that I liked. I'm going to tuck them on the right side of that photo there, and then I'm going back to the sticker sheet. I saw a couple of little flowers here that I really liked, and I wanted to cluster them right here on this top right, just to kind of balance out this layout, because there's a lot, there's kind of a lot to the left of my photo there. Not a lot, but there's a couple things there, and then there's some embellishments on the other side of my photo. I've got a couple clusters in the top and the bottom, so I just wanted to add a little something at the top right of that circle too. And then I see this cute little sign in here. I just absolutely love it. I'm gonna add it down here at the bottom. I was kind of playing around with where I wanted to put it, but I just settled there. I thought, you know what, I need to stop being so picky all the time on where everything goes and just do the dang thing and get the layout in the book, because you know what, it doesn't really matter. The end result, I'm gonna like it no matter where I place that one embellishment. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to twiddle around with everything for 2 hours just to make it look exactly just right. So I need to just keep reminding myself that, because I forget that sometimes. So just digging through the rest of my embellishments here, I pulled out some of these little enamel dots. I'm going to place a few of those just around my little clusters, just to try to use some of these up. I have a lot of them left, so just trying to use up this collection. But as you can see, I have a lot of pieces left in this collection. I really love it. It's been one of my all-time favorite collections, but I'm trying to use up a lot of my stash and just use the things I have on hand. So here's a great way to use a lot of tags on a layout. I hope you guys really enjoyed this one, and I hope that you can give it a go, and I hope I've inspired you to create something today. So thanks again so much for being here, and thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.